Get on down with your bass up. Get on down. Listen to the sound. Come on.
Ghost Riot
Radio.
Nick the Ghost.
The Ghost himself.
I'm the ghost with the most, man.
Nicky. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Welcome to Ghost Riot Radio. My name's Nick Noble, and I'm your host here each and every Sunday on Ghost Riot Radio, the 18 and Over podcast designed for free-thinking adults just like yourself, currently being recorded here in sunny Sarasota, Florida. As always, I'm going to do a quick shout-out like ClotheslineCreative.com. Clothesline Creative is a high-quality screen printing company offering custom apparel for your business, band, event, and more. Contact them today to get started with your order. That's ClotheslineCreative.com. Folks, normally every week on Ghost Riot Radio, I invite a few special people to join me here at the Riot Bench to discuss whatever the hell we want to. It's a holiday, and most of the people we invite are gone, but my homie Gart is here today. What's up, Grant? How are you?
Mama always said I was special.
Yeah. I'm so good. I'm so proud of you right now. That's fantastic. Folks, as always, we want to hear from you. We'll be opening the phone lines for the entire show today, so if you want to call in, you have questions, comments, or just want to hear yourself on the air, you can hit us up at 813-343-4798. Let's see. We've already got people joining us. Eric Gaudette's here. He says, yeah, buddy, what's up, Eric? Big E's in the house. Sarah and Madison are both. What's up, guys? They're in the airport right now on their way to Paris for their honeymoon, so everybody say congratulations to those guys. We hope you guys have a blast. Folks, welcome to episode number 25. I guess we have to say Happy Easter or Zombie Jesus Day or Standard Sunday, depending on whatever lifestyle you subscribe to. Sarah wants to know, was Jesus a rabbit? Good question. I think that's an excellent question. We're going to get, oh, man, the calls are coming in already. Caller, thanks for calling Ghost Riot Radio. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Mad Dog Marin, and I'm calling from the Orlando International Airport.
Oh, what's up, dude? How are you?
Hi, you guys. Yeah,
Hello.
we're literally like, we have to board this plane in a little bit. But yeah, Sarah and I are going to Atlanta and then Paris, and we wanted to wish everybody happy Zombie Jesus Day. We love you. Nick, thank you for taking care of the cats. Gart, you're all right.
Hey, bring me back a baguette.
A baguette? I'd like a
I'm going to
beret.
bring you guys a bunch of stuff. But, hey, we got final boarding call right now. So, peace, you guys. Love you. Have a great week, and we'll see you when we get back.
Fucking awesome. You guys have a blast. I promise I won't sell your cats to Charlie.
Thanks, babe. Love you guys.
See you, brother. Peace.
Please.
Bye.
Oh, so good. Folks, make sure if you happen to be friends with Madison and or Sarah on whatever social media, hit them up and say congratulations. They are finally going on that honeymoon. I think the most exciting part sounds like Atlanta, but I guess Paris will be pretty cool too. All right, so we're on episode 25. If this is your first time tuning into Ghost Riot Radio, during each episode, I try to feature a new musical artist of the week. If you or your band would like to be featured on an upcoming episode, you can email me at info@ghostriotradio.com or ghostriotradio@gmail.com. I need you to send me your 3 best tracks with a bio of yourself or your band and any contact info you want to air, and I'll do my best to get you on the next available episode. However, this is going to be a little bit different because for this holiday edition of Ghost Riot Radio, I'm just going to play a mix of songs, including a new one that was just sent to me today by the Virginia-based band Faded Giant. Super stoked to do that. But first, this very first track is something that you may have heard before if you've been paying attention to this show. It was recently sent to me by our homie Made in 1985. This track is called Restless. Yeah, big shout out to Scott Braun, Mr. Made in 1985, for letting us play Restless, because I'm going to play that shit all the damn time. It's super good. All right, folks, this is the holiday edition of Ghost Riot Radio. So we decided, because we don't want to push one way or the other, because quite frankly, we just don't care. I say we. I just don't care. I don't know what your opinion is on the whole thing. We. Oh, hey. That's so funny. I decided that I was going to look up stuff about Easter in general, because it's pretty weird that it's we represent this holiday with a egg-laying rabbit, which is pretty weird. Grant and I were just talking about that on the break. We decided to look it up real quick just to verify where that whole idea came from. And of course, it goes back to like 13th century Germany, where they had this thing called the Osterhaus, which is like basically Easter hare, Easter bunny, right? Easter rabbit, something like that. So, and they just decided to start telling tales about an egg-laying rabbit, which is kind of weird. Other traditions, such as the consumption of Easter candy, are among the modern traditions, because go fat America, you're doing good things. So sad. So I decided to look up some stuff and see like how other places, countries, people decide to celebrate this already very weird holiday. So get ready for our list of some of the weirdest Easter traditions across the globe. This has got to be by far one of the most crazy things I've ever fucking heard of. In the Philippines, they do something called self-crucifixion. On Good Friday, devoted Catholics across the Philippines line up to take part in reenactments of Christ's crucifixion, complete with self-flagellation and cross-dragging. The city of San Fernando holds a passion play, culminating the actual nailing of at least 3 devotees to wooden crosses in front of spectators. Oh my God. The Catholic Church has tried to dissuade followers from the practice, and the Department of Health suggests participants should get a tetanus shot and use sterilized nails. So probably not something you want to try. Don't go nailing yourself to any crosses. Really, don't even just build crosses anymore. It's not even a thing. Just don't do any of that stuff. Or go to the Philippines on Easter if you don't want to watch it happen. This is just fucked up. In New Zealand, fluffy rabbits may be synonymous with spring birth and joy, but in central Otago, I don't know how to pronounce that, New Zealand, they are classed as crop-destroying pests. An annual competition is now in its 26th year, and it recruits teams of hunters to participate in a 24-hour shoot-off with the aim of killing as many bunnies as possible. The current record stands at 23,000 bunnies. So bunny slaying in New Zealand is how they celebrate. Fuck your chocolate baskets. They're just like, brah. What kind of, I wonder what you, I mean, 23,000 rabbits. It's like a what, 24 hours, right?
I want to know how many participants there are in this to really know how well they're actually doing at this bunny slaying.
That's crazy. And do they, it's just like a culmination of everybody's total, or is that one guy who's able to do 23,000 murders? Rabbit just...
Small nuclear arms.
Maybe they're just catching them all and putting them in a cage and then just destroying them. Seems a little bit ridiculous. All right, so now we're going to Greece. Greece does 2 separate things that are wild. The second one way funnier, in my opinion, than the first one. But in Corfu, Greece, again, my pronunciations may be total shit, and I apologize ahead of time. As church bells ring to mark the end of Mass on Easter Saturday, residents of Corfu hurl clay pots off their balconies to loudly celebrate that death has been beaten by the resurrection. Makes sense, right? Just break shit.
Absolutely.
The tradition was inspired by the Venetians, who threw their old and unwanted possessions out of their windows on New Year's Day. Who cleaned that shit up? Some asshole the next day was like, fuck this New Year's shit. It was adopted by the islanders and applied to the most important day in their calendar. I'm not looking at Facebook right now. Sorry if you're making comments. You're not. What's up, Coral? What's going on? All right, so let's see. We're talking about really weird Easter traditions. Okay, so that was one side of Greece. This shit is awesome. In Chios, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Greece, they do something called an interchurch rocket war. Churches across Greece celebrate midnight mass with a fireworks display, but on the island of Chios, they take it to the next level with 2 rival churches, already awesome, engaging in a quote-unquote rocket war or they have a funny name for it that I would never ever pronounce. There's a lot of vowels in that. The parishes of St. Mark's and Panagia Erythiani are built on hilltops 400 meters from each other, and they fire hundreds of homemade rockets at the opposition's belfry throughout the night. Direct hits to the bell tower are counted the next morning when the winner is declared. That is by far the coolest shit I've ever heard of.
We definitely need to adopt that here.
Right? Like, what are y'all doing tonight? We're like, we're going to Rocket Wars at church. That shit would have me, I'd go to church every weekend for that shit, no questions asked. Like, they fire rockets at each other and make them in their basement. That shit is crazy as hell. So that's definitely, go ahead, Greece. That's kind of crazy. Throw shit into the streets, break stuff, and then shoot rockets at each other. They're definitely doing it way better than New Zealand, where they're just slaughtering rabbits. All right, Texas. Jesus Christ. All right, so in Texas does this thing called hill burning. I don't even know. Residents of Fredericksburg dress up as Easter bunnies, pioneers, and Comanches, already fucking racist, and parade through their tiny town before setting the hills surrounding the town on fire. As the fire blazes, the town's lights are lowered, and part of the Easter fires pageant. The ceremony began in 1847 to celebrate the peace accord signed between German settlers and Native Americans. So now we dress up like them, which is just not. You gotta stop doing shit like that. This is 2017. You can't be offending people. It's just stop burning the hills around your town too. What kind of a good idea? Oh man, whatever. All right. So in Italy, you know these dudes are doing serious stuff. They do something called the Sprinting Virgin Mary. The procession of La Madonna che Scappa, the Dashing Madonna, is held on Easter Sunday in Sulmona, the Abruzzo region of southern Italy. Followers carry statues of the risen Christ, St. John, and St. Peter to the church of San Filippo Neri to announce the news of the resurrection to the mourning Madonna of Loreto. After persuasion from the saints, the Madonna slowly moves out and then suddenly dashes to meet her son with the sound of firecrackers accompanying her sprint. My picture is just like kids throwing fireworks at her while she's like trying to dip through the streets. People do some wild ass shit, but you know it's not that cool. It's definitely just like fireworks in the background. France, Madison and Sarah, be ready for this. Hopefully, if you get there in time, you'll be able to get a bite. Again, and I don't speak French at all, so if I butchered this town, I apologize. Villagers in it's Haux, Haut Gironde, embark on their yearly quest to feed all 1,000 residents with a giant omelet on Easter Monday. On a hand-built fire in the town square, chefs use 5,000 eggs and 110 pounds of bacon, onion, and garlic to create the 10-foot-wide dish. The village feast has only been an annual event for 30 years, but many trace it back to a tale that Napoleon demanded a giant egg dish be prepared for his troops as they passed through this countryside. That's weird, Napoleon, but maybe...
Are these rabbit eggs they use?
Oh, that's a good question.
I would hope so.
I need to do more research. Son of a bitch. Grant's asking the hard questions today, guys. I gotta. Who knows? Damn it. Oh, this just sounds dirty. Oh fuck, I love this one. In Slovakia, they do this thing called Wet Monday. So,
I like it.
yeah, it's already so good. On Wet Monday, dedicated men follow the ancient tradition of dumping a bucket of cold water over an unsuspecting young woman when she answers her front door. The Slovak gem is said to bless the soaked individual with fertility and strength. The men are then invited in and rewarded with dyed eggs, money, and vodka. Can we pick that up here, folks? I would love to just start dumping buckets of people on unsuspecting. Oh my god! And then you have to like give me money and vodka. If you change it to whiskey, I'd be stoked. That sounds like that sounds brilliant. Okay, so then Sweden goes totally batshit crazy. They do Halloween in spring. They have a day called Maundy Thursday, Maundy Thursday. So on Maundy Thursday, Swedish children don face paint and grab broomsticks to dress up as witches and go door to door asking for sweets. Legit. According to Swedish legend, witches visited the forest of Blakula before Easter to party with the devil as he held his earthy court. That sounds rad. That sounds like a great idea. who wouldn't want to party with? Oh wait, this might be the wrong day to tell you. I would party with the devil for sure, because you know that party is lit. And then of course now kids get to dress up in the middle of spring and go door to door and get more sweets. Do they still do Do they do regular Halloween though? Is the question.
I don't know.
Right? What if they get 2 Halloweens in Sweden?
That wouldn't be fair.
They have amazing furniture and fucking 2 Halloweens. Jeez, that is not fair. All right, so that was that was my list of really weird Easter traditions across the world. There's been a lot of I was on Facebook for a little while this morning, and there was a lot of people just do the standard like, yo, go Easter and all that stuff, which is cool, right? A lot of people are like, he is risen. And then there are people who are also like, okay, that's kind of bullshit. How is that even possible? So it's an interesting day. Facebook is kind of hot right now. Everybody's like, oh, I love you. Check out my kid's Easter candy. And then some people are just like, fuck this. So I'd be interested to hear whether or not you are an Easter fan, all 4 of you that are watching currently. If you're out there and you are a believer in this whole Easter tradition, then let me know in the comments or give us a call and tell us why. We'd love to hear why. If you're not, I also want to hear why. So tell us in the comments why you are not. And if you think it's totally ridiculous and you're just like anti the whole thing, feel free to give us a holler. What's your family usually do on Easter?
Just the normal stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like the American, I guess the German thing, because that's what we just found out, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, totally.
You know, based on other traditions that they have. It's a very wacky thing. After you're about 7 years old, when you step back and think about what we're actually doing, if you are religious, you're celebrating this, religious miracle that by doing some real wacky shit.
Totally agreed.
But most of the people that are non-religious, they were at least like raised in a Easter thing,
right?
You
right.
still have those traditions.
You're not gonna be the only kid in the neighborhood not getting a basket of chocolate.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what the fuck, mom?
Yeah. And for some reason, hollow bunnies taste better than
the solids.
Than the solid bunnies.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. It's exotic.
I used to get a white chocolate hollow every year, and I was so sick by noon.
The white chocolate's extra sweet. It seems.
Man, it was just ridiculous. I was just so sick. Cadbury cream eggs, yes or no?
Cadbury?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know. I don't really eat any of that stuff anymore.
Well, I don't eat it anymore.
When I was a kid, really anything that was in that basket was the shit.
Just like a layer of jelly beans in the bottom.
I remember it being almost on the same level of like Christmas when I was a kid in the magic of coming downstairs and there's like a basket waiting for me with all the shit in it, and like I knew that all the shit that was in the basket was going to be delicious.
Yeah.
You know?
Eric's on the Facebook feed right now. He's saying Peeps. I agree, but the only way I really like Peeps is if I would immediately open the package and then not talk to him for like 2 days and let him get like kind of firm. Yeah. And then you could like you just had to like rip through them. Yeah. So like once they were kind of stale, I was down. Or you nuke one.
Do you remember? Didn't Lauren have some kind of Peeps recipe of some kind?
Probably.
There was something I don't remember what the hell it was.
A Peeps recipe. Probably. She's a mad scientist. She does all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, that was. No, I don't remember that. She'll have to let us know. I'm sure we'll hear from her at some point, either during the show or shortly after. She'll call us and be like, "Yeah, I did." All right, so Peeps were the shit. What else was Easter ready that God.
Oh, the Reese's eggs are better, I think, than the cups. There was more peanut butter in them.
Oh, there were. It was like a nugget of peanut butter at that point. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Anybody else have favorite holiday candy out there? Let us know. Or Easter candy, not specifically. What else did I get on Easter? I think at some point, like, Mom was like, we're just going to stop feeding this kid candy. And so I started getting things like toys or like whatever.
Yeah.
I had a friend on Facebook this year who just put like she has 3 kids. Each one got like a like a medium-sized chocolate bunny and $20. It's just like,
Nice.
I'm over this candy stuff. Like, get one piece of chocolate and then here, just take $20 and chill out.
I think it'll be interesting to see within the next 20 or 30 years where our traditions go.
Agreed.
Because I think everybody's just so more aware and shit. They're just kind of like, that's pointless.
Yeah, totally agree.
I mean, there's still people want their kids to experience that like mindless majesty that you get when you're, a little kid. But at the same time, I think there's going to be a lot of people just being like, fuck that. Let's not anymore.
So I think your mindless majesty comment reminds me of, I still have this thing open. I was reading today about the psychology of religion because somebody had posted a comment earlier about why people believe that a human literally died and came back to life, right? That was the question. It wasn't like, why are you so stupid? It was literally just like posed as, why do you believe this? Tell me why. And he was trying to start like a conversation with it. And some people were like, go eat, suck one. And then other people were like, oh, I believe it because I believe it. And nobody had like a real answer. Although somebody did tell us that she was praying for our eternal souls because we were in a lot of trouble. So we appreciate that. Thanks. Peeps or Cadbury eggs? Peeps or Cadbury. Yeah. I think those are the two. I think that's like what everybody's into, Jody. So yeah, we agree. All right. So anyway, I was talking about the psychology of religion, and found this article on Psychology Today that talks about magical thinking. And I think this is an interesting concept because basically what it says in a nutshell is that whether you subscribe to religion or consider yourself spiritual or whatever, or even if you're not religious at all, there's something that you do that is not real. Whether it's like there are baseball players who like only eat chicken so that they, eat chicken before every game so that they, hit home runs. And if it works for them, that's something that they made true in their own head, and therefore it now becomes, true. What's that saying? Or like, if one person says something, they're crazy. If 20 people say something, then it's like, it's fact or something like that, like it becomes reality or something like that. They're basically saying that if you can get enough people on board with an idea, it doesn't matter if it's real or not, because now you have a team of people that believe in it.
Yeah, I forget. There was actually a really good, there was a good quote about it. Like there was something about like one guy that's full of shit and something. And I don't know if he has some amount of people totally butchering that. It's not even good at all, but
yeah. It's the same concept though, and it basically says that no matter who you are, what you really believe in, the truth is that we all use that concept, right? It helps us get through the day-to-day stuff. Like we're naturally wired to sort of want to continue to find the answers and believe in something. And it's really easy to just jump on board with people who have come up with ideas, right? Like that's really great. Like, oh, that sounds logical. Let's do that.
Ron Hubbard.
Exactly. So it's really easy to jump on board with that stuff. And so, I was trying to tell this guy today, I was like, yo, people are going to be mad at you for posting stuff like that. But it's free country, right? Do whatever you want to. But at the same time, everybody's got something that they believe in that's not necessarily a reality because it helps them get through their reality. And so that's what I believe religion is, right? It's just like that thing that helps people have an answer to the why, right? And so, if you believe that this Jesus died for your sins, but prior to that died already and then came back to life, is it possible? So is it possible that he died, or we thought he died and he didn't die? We stuck his ass in a cave, and for like 3 days he was like, "Get me out of the cave." And they found a way out, and everybody was like, "Holy shit, how'd you do that?" And he was like, "Oh, yeah, totally did that."
Well, one thing that I remember when I was, because I used to have to attend church with my mom.
Yeah, me too.
I remember, like, listening to the story of that. Like, so the story is that, he's crucified, died, buried in the tomb, and I think it's the third day after he's dead, he rises again, and then I always just wondered, like, I couldn't wrap my head around. I was like, so his physical body ascended into the sky, or what? Like, what happened to his body? Like I remember thinking that at a very young age. Like I was very critical of it, like right away.
Right.
It's like where it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of
That,
people feel that way. I think as like as a kid, you're like, God, that's amazing.
Well,
Literally, and then
I didn't even. I was skeptical from right away, but I was just like, yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me. Like,
yeah. I have
but,
ADD, so you weren't going to let me sit through any of that shit anyway. I was just like blah the whole time. But yeah, I can't. I don't know. So maybe I don't know. Do we one day have like a religion conversation? Do we let people like call in one day and like fight for their side? I think
yeah, why not? Fuck it.
somebody put up a comment today that was like, she goes, religion and politics are two things you should never talk about in public.
We should just have one episode dedicated to half of it religion, half politics.
Oh my God. That would either be the highest rated show ever or like the way we got cut. Like they're just like, no, you guys can't do this anymore. We gotta let you go. Yeah, let us know in the comments if you think that we should if we should have a religion. Should we have one of those like challenging topic shows, or should we just continue to be stupid and drink and act ridiculous on this show?
One episode.
Just one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down. Let's do it. All right. So I tell you what. Let's play another track. We're of course going to do the week in weed when we come back. I really want to get you to hear this track because this was just sent to me like literally an hour before the show started, and I was like, hell yeah. So I scrapped somebody and put them back in. So check this out. This next band is from the town I grew up in, which is pretty awesome. Fairfax, Virginia is home to the rock band Faded Giant. Their drummer, Eric Gaudette, is an awesome dude and also a good friend of mine. He sent me this track this morning by his band Faded Giant, and this track is called After Everything.
And after everything, nothing was the same. Washing this away. After everything, nothing was the same. Washing this away. Shows you what it could have been. Yeah. 'Cause after everything, yeah, nothing was the same. Yeah. Washing this away. Yeah. Shows you what it should have been. Yeah.
Super good. Ladies and gents, that was Faded Giant with their track After Everything. I already talked to Eric. We're definitely going to have those guys on this show as the musical guest of the week coming up, so be on the lookout for those guys as well. Tony Elkins is in the house. What's up, Tony? Good to see you, sir. Who else we got over here while I'm looking? Helen French. Hi, Helen. How are you? Happy Easter.
I'm surprised Tony's never made it on the show.
Tony was on this show.
When?
He was on the Ed Cultura episode.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean like a
Oh, for
full,
like
yeah, like
come
a,
in and do stuff?
yeah, like a full episode because he's a total media guy.
Yeah, it's true. Tony, you're more than welcome at any time. So let us know if you want to get out here. We'd be more than happy to have you come out and talk with us again. All right. So we've been talking about weird Easter traditions. We just did a whole list of really ridiculous stuff from all over the world. So if you guys have stuff that you want to talk about, he said engine building. We'll see if it rises like Jesus.
Is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's up to at the moment. That's fucking hilarious.
That's poor Honda.
So, guys, if you have any funny Easter, whatever, stories, comments, questions, concerns, hit us up. Put them in the comments. You can give us a call. It's 813-343-4798. So that being said, I always have to do my favorite portion of this show. But prior to doing that, let me go ahead and say this real quick. Ghost Riot Radio is my show and mine alone. The comments and opinions made by me or this show do not necessarily reflect the opinions of my guests or any business, company, or organization that is mentioned on my show. Please do not hold my guests accountable for my comments. Thanks for being open-minded. # don't be a dick. Gotta love it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for The Week in Weed. The Week in Weed is brought to you by normal.org. That's NORML.org. If you are not a fan of normal.org, you probably should be. They're the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Law. If you're trying to figure out whether or not your community is doing the right stuff or you want to know what the laws are in your community, go check them out. That's NORML.org. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go out of our country a little bit. So apparently in Uruguay, pharmacies will begin selling cannabis in July to those of age 18 or older, according to public statements made by last week by their government officials. 16 pharmacies are already registered to participate in the forthcoming program, which will dispense cannabis provided by state-licensed producers. Pretty normal, right? That's kind of like what everybody's doing. Retailers will sell cannabis to customers in 5-gram increments. The initial price per gram will be fixed at $1.30 per gram.
Not bad.
No, that's not bad at all. You get 5 grams for, what is that, $6.50? Is that what it works out to? It's not bad. That's pretty cool. How many times in a day can you go is the question.
That's the first excuse I've found to go to Uruguay for a vacation.
Right? Okay. I'm here for my 5 grams. Goodbye. Customers must be enrolled in a government registry in order to legally purchase cannabis, and sales to foreign tourists will not be permitted. Balls. There goes that trip. It's only the first step. Don't be surprised. So let's move on. In South Africa, federal provisions criminalizing the possession and use of cannabis in private have been determined to be unconstitutional. That's pretty cool. The High Court decision determined that outlawing the private use of cannabis by adults is an unjustifiable infringement upon citizens' right to privacy and dignity. Oh, wait, you get an applause for that one. That's pretty awesome. Smart move, South Africa. We like that a lot. The High Court decision determined, I just read that to you, the public use of cannabis as well as any commercial activities related to the plant's purchase or sale remain illegal. So you can't buy it, but they can't tell you can't do it. I think that's legit. It's just like, here, you're going to get it whether you want it, it's illegal or illegal. So cool. All right, back in the States, Phoenix, Arizona. An Arizona appellate court, is that how you say that? Appellate court, has ruled that a 2012 law amending the Arizona Medical Marijuana Act, the AMMA, to prohibit the use of medical cannabis on college campuses is unconstitutional. We agree. Lifetime Normal Legal Committee. New member, Tom Dean, represented the patient defendant in the case pro bono, and Normal Legal Committee attorney Tom Holtz filed an amicus curiae. I don't know how to do all this legal jargon. Where's Sarah when I need her? Brief on behalf of Normal. They said, quote, by enacting some legislature modified the AMMA to criminalize cardholders' marijuana possession on college and university campuses, the court opined. The statute does not further the purpose of the AMMA. To the contrary, it eliminates some of its protections. The court argued that the campuses and universities possess the authority to enact their own individual policies restricting medical cannabis use, but that lawmakers cannot do so. All right, well, whatever. It's a step. Let's talk about West Virginia, especially for those of you that are in Virginia checking out this show. House and Senate lawmakers have approved a significantly amended version of the Senate Bill 386, which seeks to establish a state-regulated medical cannabis program. The measure now awaits action from Democratic Governor Jim Justice. What a name. I feel like he should just wear a cape everywhere. I'm Jim Justice, who has previously expressed support for permitting qualified patients to access cannabis therapy. Go ahead, West Virginia. Country road. Sorry, I won't do that to you again. Under the amended measure, qualified patients will be permitted to obtain cannabis-infused oils, pills, tinctures, or creams from a limited number of state-authorized dispensaries. Cannabis-based preparations will be produced by state-licensed growers and processors. Patients will not be permitted to grow their own cannabis because West Virginia would be covered in that shit, nor will they be able to legally access or smoke herbal formulations of the plant. Such stupid rules. Just say yes or no, and that should be the end of it. So dumb. Last but not least, folks, we want to just let you know, last week we talked about the fact that Canada is making all kinds of moves on their legalization, full legalization in Canada. And Normal decided to make some comments about that whole subject on their page. So I'm just going to read some quick stuff to you. It says, today the federal government of Canada released a slate of proposed bills that would legalize and regulate the commercial sale and adult use of marijuana in their country. The legalization would establish 18 as the minimum legal age to purchase marijuana and would create a legal framework for the production, sale, and distribution. The bills were introduced in the House of Commons by Justice Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould, Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale, Health Minister Jane Philpott, and Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freehand. Oh, nice job, guys. The sensible approach to marijuana stands in the stark contrast to the direction and tone the United States President Donald Trump and his administration have been taking on the issue. Normal says, quote, while the Canadian government is moving in the direction of legalization and regulation, the Trump administration and Attorney General Jeff Sessions, #fuck Jeff Sessions, seems more intent on reviving outdated and erroneous drug war rhetoric than allowing science and facts to dictate public policy. The United States should follow Canada's example and end our own costly and disastrous prohibition on marijuana, unquote. And of course, that was Eric Altieri, who's the executive director of Normal. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the Week in Weed, brought to you by normal.org. Shout out to Scott Braun, Mr. Made in 1985, for creating the intro track for the Week in Weed. Folks, as always, if you're here in the Florida area, make sure you go check out DocMJ, DocMJ.com. DocMJ is helping you find out whether or not you can get on that compassionate care act that we just passed, the Amendment 2 we just passed here in Florida. So if you were trying to find out whether or not you qualify for compassionate care, go to docmj.com, fill out the survey. They will get back to you and get you started on that path to compassionate care. Also, if you're looking to find other people in your area who share similar views as you on the subject of cannabis, you should download an app called Hi There. It's HIGHTHERE. Hi There is a social app for cannabis consumers and aficionados alike. I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit like Tinder for stoners. But they just did an entire revamp on that app. It's way more user-friendly right now. It looks super clean, very cool. So go check it out. If you're looking for me, you can check out my profiles under Nick Noble, KNOWBLE. Do us all a favor, be careful with what you decide to say to people on that site. The federal government is still not convinced about cannabis, and I don't want anybody to get in trouble. Folks, so now that we're back, we just want to remind you that the phone lines are open. If you want to be a part of this conversation, we decided it was time. We're going to have this conversation just because. And if we offend you, then you don't have a sense of humor and you probably shouldn't watch this show. But it being Easter, we decided today's topic should be zombies. If you're watching right now, you may or may not be able to see this. I am actually wearing my Dawn of the Dead t-shirt. Because I'm a giant zombie fanatic, like huge zombie fanatic. If somebody was to ask me what part of the horror genre was my favorite zombie movies, is by far the biggest portion of my collection. So we are going to get a little weird. All right. So if you want to be a part of this conversation, hit us up. Type it in the comments if you want to. You can also give us a call. It's 813-343-4798. So folks, we are not, again, this is not a religion conversation. Well, it could be, we'll see. We're just going to let it happen. Favorite zombie movie, go.
Well, it depends, because there's kind of different types of zombie movies. And,
agreed.
I guess the ones that I like, and the term zombie's been changed throughout time, so I don't really care. A lot of people think that like the 28 days, 28 weeks later type of movies aren't really zombie movies because they want to think of it like a George Romero kind of a thing. But I think I like those kind of the best because there's a little bit more like an edge there where it's like something that could happen, you know, like a rabies type virus or something breaks out and just has people just lose their shit and they just start tearing people up. And I think those ones intrigue me the most.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm watching people start to drop off of this conversation. We lost Helen already. Helen, no offense, I love you,
but
we understand.
But yeah, so and I need to rewatch actually those two movies, the 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later, because
28 Days was great.
I always feel like I like 28 Weeks Later better, but I watched it first before I watched 28 Days Later.
Yeah, I could see how that might be.
And maybe I felt like the production quality was better on the second one, but I really need to rewatch it.
It was, but one was good. I remember.
I really liked just the way that the 28 Weeks Later starts out is just like really strong. Yeah, it just starts out just like holy fuck, kind of like actually like the newer. Is it the Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah.
It starts out with
the
like
remake.
It's like happy little like mourning family, and then the throat gets bit out.
Yeah,
like,
so good.
Yeah, kind of
when the neighbor's daughter comes over, like, why are you standing in my hallway? And then she just goes batshit crazy. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, and I of course always love the original stuff. If you've ever been to my house, I actually own an original Dawn of the Dead movie poster from the original because I think it was 78. I think it literally is as old as I am, which is crazy. And George Romero's a beast, so I'll probably never shit on anything George Romero does, even though it's really long-winded. A lot of them are like an hour longer than they probably should be. Amazing. But I think Return of the Living Dead was always good. I still love Dead Alive. If you haven't seen Dead Alive, you have to. Still possibly considered one of the goriest movies ever, but it's also hilarious. It was a Peter Jackson movie, and most people are like, "What? It's Peter Jackson?
Yeah,
this is nothing like Lord of the Rings." It's amazing. He killed it, and it's definitely got. I don't even want to spoil it, but it's got one of the best kill scenes I've ever seen. So if you're a zombie head, please go check out Dead Alive. But then when it comes to zombies, like I think like it's the hard part is now for people trying to make zombie stuff is that whole explanation. Everything else is fun, right? It's just like death and like people have awesome kill scenes. Even in the shittiest zombie movies, they come up with like really creative kill stuff. But the whole like why, oh man, so relative to today. The whole like why did it all happen in the first place is interesting, and that's why like Return of the Living Dead with the government issued tank of weird stuff that just like leaked into the world, and the rain carries it out to everybody, and so it was awesome. And also, if you haven't seen the stripper scene in the this chick does a striptease in the middle of a cemetery in the first one, which is pretty awesome. So if you haven't watched that, remember like they're all like punks. And like they're like waiting for the dude to get out of work, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just go hang out in this cemetery." And this chick's like, "Death makes me horny," and then then somebody goes, "Oh, she's doing it again!" And next thing you know, she's like totally naked, and everybody's like, "Woo!" Hilarious. Who's that? Brian Tanner's in the house. What's up, Brian Tanner? Good to see you, sir. Hope you're having a happy Sunday and holiday if you're into that thing. We're talking about zombies today. If you have favorite zombie movies, zombie moments, zombie shows, zombie anything, let us know. We want to hear about it.
One thing I found interesting was because it was another one of those things like with the origins of Easter where I knew I had looked it up previously and I had one of those like, oh yeah, okay, and then totally forgot it amongst all the other shit that's floating around in my head. So I looked it up again today. And, the origin of zombie, and it used to be something completely different, and that's why I don't actually feel weird about saying like an infection movie is like a zombie movie because it's just we changed the term zombie after Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
When and it actually isn't even they're not even called zombies in the Night of the Living Dead. They're called ghouls,
right?
And and they related them to zombies being from the Haitian voodoo culture,
right?
As people that were these people that were brought back from the dead by the will of a witch doctor of some kind that would have them like carrying out the will of the witch doctor. So
right.
It's kind of they're kind of like that. I guess now what we see as our classic vision of zombies being the like their thirst for brains and hunger for brains is like what's controlling them, I guess. But
why don't I have that as a soundbite? I need a brain soundbite. And then I get that goddamn screwdriver out of my head. So funny. Yeah. So he's absolutely right. Haitian folklore, a zombie is an animated corpse raised by magical means such as witchcraft. Good job, Grant, studying zombies. I love that shit. Yeah. So tell us your favorite way. Nobody's answering. They're all watching. People are watching, which is cool, but nobody's talking. So that's all right. We are talking zombies right now because on the first half of the show, we did talk about Easter, right? We talked about Easter today. We talked about people's weird traditions in other parts of the world and some here. But we would be remiss if we didn't play both sides. So there's a whole group of people out there who don't believe, but celebrate Zombie Jesus Day. Because there are some people who find it really hard to believe that a human being was dead and then came back to life. So Zombie Jesus Day, if you Google search Zombie Jesus, it's everywhere. People have memes and all kinds of, there's stuff drawn up and all that jazz. So don't be surprised. Oh, we just lost like 6 more viewers. But listen, again, if you can watch this show, but you get offended by stuff like this, you should probably check yourself a little bit. Like if you can't laugh a little bit, we're not saying that your Jesus was a zombie, but the whole concept really is that's kind of like what it is, right? So, so that's the deal. So we're talking everything zombie today. Hit us up. Let us know if you have favorite zombie anything, moments, movies, videos, something. Let us know. So let's see. Favorite zombie. So are you watching Walking Dead?
No, yeah. I tried. I watched part of the first season and. I don't know. I just didn't have the energy for it. I have so many other shows that I watch and stuff, and I don't know. It at least maybe the first season just seemed kind of corny to me, so I just kind of lost it, you know. And there was kind of a social commentary thing that went along with it, and I was just like, nah.
Well, and that's that's a George Romero thing too. He likes to do that with Dawn of the Dead. He's always making a lot of social commentary through that, through his films, and even in what was Land of the Dead was the last one.
Was that the latest?
I think Land of the Dead was the latest one, right?
Might have been.
Anybody out there? I should know that, but I believe I'm right. Even in that stuff, like he attacks things like how everybody's getting piercings and tattoos and like just like really crazy stuff. So, so that's always been like a weird zombie sub thing that happens in those zombie movies. But Walking Dead for me was kind of like I got super excited about it because I was a comic book nut. I wouldn't say a nut, but definitely a fan. Before that, and of course got into the Walking Dead comic way before they ever decided to turn it into a show. Yeah. In fact, my boy Alex was just here visiting. Alex Ray is the man. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate you. He just who's he with now? I keep wanting to say Victory, but it's not Victory. It's like anyway. He brought me a bunch of books. He's now doing sales for another company. He used to be the back issue buyer for Midtown Comics, which is like the biggest comic book store in New York, which is just crazy. The dude, I used to live with the guy, and we would just like you just couldn't touch anything because it was just like like little like action figures still in the boxes and the long boxes full of books, and he would always read all of them. There was he very rarely had few that he would like don't touch it, but there was definitely those. I'm sure his collection is ridiculous now. Anyway, so zombies was the topic. Did you have another favorite zombie anything?
Bill Murray.
From Zombieland. Yeah. Oh, so good.
God, that shit was so funny to me when he pretends to be a zombie and then suddenly I don't remember how it comes about that he like reveals himself as just pretending to be a zombie, but that shit was so funny to me.
Didn't they shoot him?
I think so. They hurt him in some way.
I thought they just kill him. I thought they he was using it to go play golf. So he wouldn't get fucked up while he played golf. He'd just like, and then hit his ball and keep going. Yeah. But then they came in and everybody else was like, yo, and that was it, right? So like two of the group were already in the room and they were like, holy shit, you're alive. And he was like, yeah, cool. And they hung out with him all day. Yeah. And then the other two showed up and they're like, oh, zombie, pow. Like, dude, you shot Bill Murray. He's like, it's okay. It's all right. I had a good run.
Those comedy ones are pretty good too, I think. Actually, like Shaun of the Dead was great. Shaun of the Dead kind of blew my mind when I first watched it because it was like, that like cheesy comedy thing, and then like there's like really gruesome scenes and stuff too, where people get their guts pulled out and shit. Yeah. And it's just like oh, that's cool because there wasn't a lot of comedy that I can think of before that where people, had like extreme scenes like that.
Yeah. Again, Dead Alive does that where it's like so ridiculous it's comical, but not in that those dudes are obviously comedians doing zombie spoofs, which is awesome. That's a good one. Shit, I forgot. God, Hot Fuzz was just as good.
It was really good.
Those guys are awesome. I think Jesus, what else do I have that's like super amazing? I've seen some really crazy stuff. There's a New Zealand zombie movie that I was just going to talk about and now have completely forgotten the name of, which I totally hate, so I'm going to look it up real quick. Go ahead.
Have you ever watched White Zombie?
White Zombie?
Yeah, so White Zombie was actually the first movie that was a zombie movie, but it threw back to, it was the Haitian type of zombie, the voodoo zombie.
Right.
And it was pretty much this guy who it's been a long time since I've seen it, but it's a pretty short movie, but it's like from the 30s. This guy like controls this woman to like do his whatever he wants, And obviously back then they had to
and then
be
he dumps
like
a bucket of water on her and gets money and vodka.
Yeah. There's egg hiding involved and it's pretty raunchy. No, this is in the 30s, so unfortunately none of that stuff's in it, but we should work on a remake.
Except now it's a chicken that lays rabbits.
Yeah.
So I keep saying New Zealand, but it's actually Australian. If you haven't seen Undead, go check that out. It's a 2003 zombie flick from Australia that definitely gives a new twist to the whole zombie concept, and it's pretty awesome. And they do it's also kind of hilarious, but at the same time has really great kill scenes in it. So go check out Undead as well. God, what else am I I mean, there's so many out there that are so good. I don't know. I think we've kind of worked it. Oh man, it's probably time for us to just like cut this show. We're gonna do like an hour show today. Yeah, perfect. Let's do an hour. It's good. Perfect. It's perfect. Folks, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up today. Don't forget, hopefully you're out there with your friends and family doing fun stuff. So even if you're not celebrating a holiday, we hope you're having a good time. Thanks to Grant for being here as always.
Thank you.
What are you doing with the rest of your day?
I'm gonna go see what Tony's up to. Check
Nice.
out how he's working on his bike. Maybe go see my brother. He's down at Stragglers.
Awesome.
And then I'm gonna go eat dinner.
Yeah, it's a good call. I'm heading to St. Pete for the rest of this week, so if you're in the St. Pete area and you want to hang out, hit me up. I'm house sitting, and so I will be up there. So hit me up if you want to come up, or you're already up there and want to hang. What else? That's pretty much it, folks. Let's make sure that... Oh, you know what I should touch on real quick? Wednesday is episode number 4 of The Proof. If you haven't seen The Proof yet, it's the other channel, or it's the other show that's happening on the Ghost Riot Radio channel on YouTube. The Proof is an all whiskey show. It happens bi-weekly, so we do it every other Wednesday. So it's coming up this Wednesday. Jerry Flanagan will be here for sure. Grant said he's probably in. We'll hopefully have Megan back, and I think we're getting Nick Daydoni back in here as well. We're talking about Balvenie whiskeys, I believe, this time. So if you haven't been part of the Balvenie collection, shit gets real. So make sure you come check us out. That's going to be 8 o'clock on Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time. That's The Proof. And if you miss them, it'll be on YouTube. Just go to Ghost Riot Radio on YouTube, and you'll be able to find under a new playlist, The Proof Radio. So go check that shit out. It's also got a Facebook page, so if you like to watch these shows live like you can do right now, you can also go to The Proof Radio, facebook.com/The Proof Radio, and you can watch it live, comment, call in, be a part of the show. We'd love to do that for you. What else? Next time you're on YouTube, make sure you go to Ghost Riot Radio and hit that subscribe button. Make sure they now have a little bell option, so I guess you got to hit subscribe and then hit the bell, and that gives you notifications on whether or not we're putting up new stuff. So make sure you do both of those things. I definitely appreciate the subscription ahead of time. Thanks very much, and keep your eyes peeled again for the very next episode of The Proof, also on the same channel. Facebook.com/Ghost Riot Radio gets you to watch these shows live, so make sure you check that out. You can also check out Facebook.com/The Proof Radio to do the same thing on the other show. On Instagram, you can check me out at Ghost Riot Radio, and you can also check out The Proof Radio. They have separate accounts for those shows, so go check them out. On Twitter, we're Ghost Riot Media. That's the umbrella for this entire project, so go to Ghost Riot Media if you follow people on Twitter. Again, if you're listening to us as a podcast, hit subscribe. We definitely are on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. It's still on TuneIn Radio as well, so hit subscribe on those things, guys. Just listening to them is awesome, but we appreciate it if you would subscribe as well as put some comments in there because we want to hear what you think. And then don't forget, you can always go to ghostriotradio.com. Folks, I'm going to play one more track on the way out here like always. This last track I'm playing today is one that I play on the show a lot by our friends Grims and Black Knight out of Chicago. Their track, Keep, is going to be the final song to take us out of here today. Again, no matter what your religion, race, color, creed, we want everyone to have a fantastic day. Hopefully you're spending some time with someone you like to be around. Make sure you're taking care of those who are working today so that you and yours can enjoy the time you're spending. As always, I'm Nick Noble. This is Grant. Thanking you for joining us for episode 25. We'll see you next Sunday for another episode of Ghost Riot Radio. Don't forget, make your presence known, spread some love, and we'll talk to you soon.
I have to make a correction to what you said. I hope Jeff Sessions has diarrhea today.
Agreed.
But the rest of you can have fun.
Peace.
Endless running while the rain is falling. Someone please hear me calling. These trees tease my perception of my own deception. I'm tracking my progression with very little discretion. I am coming for you now with the pride of the ocean tide. Emotion subside. I'm applied in stride, bloodied and battered. No matter, I continue because I know that I'll be with you. Because I know that I'll be with you, and because I thought that I'd be with you, and because I thought that, now I'm all sidetracked. Got us all sidetracked, so now I'm like, keep that. All of your goodbyes, you can keep that. The water in your eyes, you can keep that. I'm happy, I can see that. I'm better off if you just keep that. that, and I'll be just fine in the deep and breathing. And I'll be just fine in the deep and breathing. All of you goodbyes, you can keep that, the water in your eyes, you can keep that. I'm happy I can see that, I'm better off if you just keep that. And I'll be just fine in the deep and breathing. I'll be just fine in the deep and breathing. I'll be just fine in the deep and breathing. I'll be just fine in the deep and breathing. I'll be just fine in the deep and all of you goodbyes, you can keep that, the water in your eyes, you can keep that. I'm happy I can see that, I'm better off if you just keep that. And I'll be just fine in the deep and breathing peacefully. Breathing peacefully. Breathing peacefully. And I'll be just fine in the deep and breathing. And I'll be just fine.